Mostly the mic randomly not working has happened a couple times, and like luckily when it happened, you could use like on CapCut, there's like a voice enhancing feature, so you
So
could
you
use
got it
that.
from your phone instead of the
Yeah,
mic?
so it came from my camera phone, but it was really bad audio.
Ever feel like you're doing everything right, but your audience still won't grow?
Sandy knows that grind better than anyone. From editing your own videos to juggling release schedules, she's building a platform in real time.
Today, we're breaking down the technical side of Say What with Sandy, the gear, the workflow, and the scrappy tricks that keep creators moving.
If you're into independent music or making content in the West Coast reggae scene, this is the episode you'll wish you heard sooner.
And trust me, the way she solves these problems might surprise you.
You're only half listening to the answer, and then you're like, oh, like you said, I wish I would have elaborated on that. Like, screw the rest of these. Whoops, sorry, I hit my mic. Screw the rest of these questions. I should have just went right down that rabbit hole. That's what we try to stick with an outline. What's that?
Or you just thought of like, oh, that would have been such a funny joke right there if I just would have said that one line.
Right. It's no different though than when you had an argument and you're like, oh, I should have said this. It's but I think that it's definitely a time where that you can kind of learn and grow from that, so that you leave yourself kind of open. Because it was kind of like Zach was saying, if you're too focused on the flow of the interview itself, then you don't allow your brain to riff and improvise and stuff like that. Because when you're watching it back, you're not worried about the flow, you're not worried about the follow-up question, you're just watching, and then it's like, okay, cool. And I think that you can you find that it's for me, it's kind of about finding the balance of being a participant and trying to be an observer at the same time, without letting either one take over too much.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you have could you tell us a little bit like your strategy when you go into an interview? Let's say you're going to go backstage, or you're going to a festival and you're going to interview a band. Like, how do you plan for that? How do you do your research? Like, what's like a kind of a synopsis, footnotes of a day of interviews with Sandy?
It depends on how well I know that band. If I'm already a huge fan and I feel like I know everything, then I'm just going to sit down on my phone and type out any questions that I think I have. Maybe I'll go check on their social media, see if there's any like recent things they're posting about that would be good to bring up. If I don't know much about them, then like for Yellow Wolf, I didn't know too much about him. He actually has a documentary out that I went and watched. So I watched that, listened to some of his music, and definitely watching other interviews that they've done, because I can get kind of a vibe. Are they funny? Are they serious?
So you do the homework, you do research, you're doing research.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
Big key, guys, do research. Study your subject,
And the thing that always happens that I have so many, you think an interview is going to happen, and then you get to the day and maybe they don't feel like it, or something comes up. And so I have so many interviews written on my phone that never got to come to life because they didn't happen. Or I think maybe I'll have an opportunity to run into this person. I'm going to have these interview questions just in case. And then I don't.
Gotcha.
Or I do.
So you're there for the ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about tech, like your gear. Like for me, it feels like your style is very grassroots, right? It's just kind of like put on the phone, let's go. I do know you have a microphone. I think maybe you use like a GGI wireless mic, or I'm like, what kind of gear do you use to do these filming?
So I have a Rode mic. It's the brand. I'm not a tech person. I use usually just a cell phone because that's the easiest thing. Mic, and use CapCut to edit. And I have used GoPro before. We also have like a Canon camera I've used a couple times, but a lot of times I just don't want to like travel with those things. So
and you can do a lot with your phone. So do you do all the editing in your phone too as well?
Yeah, except
What
like,
apps do you use to
CapCut is my best friend.
CapCut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except
Yeah.
for the longer video I did, and I'm sure you guys can probably relate to this if your content's longer. CapCut on the phone just wasn't going to cut it for the longer videos.
Yeah.
Nick edited that for me, and he did it on his computer on, I forgot what he used.
Well, does he have a? If he has it, well, it's probably Final Cut. That's
Premiere,
probably,
I
if he has a
think,
Mac.
is the name of it.
Premiere is another one. Yeah,
I think
So
that's what he used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just sat there and said,
So he helps you out. So and so is he? Do you sometimes he's the one holding the phone for you
He's
while
like
you're doing the interviews?
99% of the time my videographer. Yes.
You could do a lot worse, kid. You could do a lot worse.
yeah, exactly.
And sometimes I'll coax one of my girlfriends to help me, but
yeah, it's usually like it just reminded me of those boyfriends for girls that just like their whole purpose is to help them make shots, for Instagram. That's kind of funny. You said you actually do the CapCut stuff yourself, so you do a lot of the I guess the reels mostly, huh? Is that kind of like when you're showcasing bands and different artists, or new reggae artists that are up and coming on the scene and stuff? Those are all kind of self they look pretty good. They look really well. So
yeah, that's just like with the tripod in the Nick studios and our garage, so I'll just go out there because it looks kind of cool with the lights and stuff. And
the mood lighting's amazing. Like and his studio, by the way, if you don't, it's a Epoch, right? Epoch Sound. Enoch
Enoch Studio. Yep. So if you guys need any studio work, any production work,
I almost feel like I want to send him something just to see what he would do, and try to support, But yeah, his new album with Eureka Sound is just absolute banger.
Yeah,
it's so good. So you'll have to tell him I loved it. It's amazing.
I'm sure he'd love to come on.
So would he?
I bet he would.
Because I always feel I have imposter syndrome with him. Even, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, well, maybe I can get through. Like, I'll just do the back door. I'll get through his girlfriend first, and if I get, get in good terms with his girlfriend, maybe she can schmooze him. Like, come on, he's a nice guy. Come on, give him a chance.
He would love to. I'm sure.
Yeah. well, and it was funny because when I met him, I was like. They were getting ready to leave. They were like probably getting hungry, I'm like, all right, I'll go. I said, but I gotta get a picture first, otherwise I gotta have proof or it didn't happen, man. and he stands up next to me. He's like 6'3", and he's just like trying to hold. Yeah. Anyway, it was cool.
Zach is not.
I'm not. She knows how tall I am. She was there. So
yeah, I remember that.
Have you ever had a gear fail mid-interview that just caused chaos and just went off the rails?
Yes, mostly the mic randomly not working has happened a couple times, and luckily when it happened, you could use on CapCut. There's a voice enhancing feature, so you
got it from your phone instead of the mic?
Yeah, so it came from my camera phone, but it was really bad audio.
Yeah, it's almost unusable, huh?
Yeah, I still posted it because I was like, I really like this interview, but it was super disappointing. Like I said, I'm not a tech person, and so that's my biggest stress right before the interview is just making sure everything's turned on, plugged in, working, and all of that. So
that's important.
Yeah,
it's important because we were at the Fork Fest I was telling you about, and our band, the Stretch Armstrong boys, are on stage, and I'm right up front, and I have this Insta360 with this giant ass pole that I can it's 10, 15 feet in the air, and I'm holding it, so I got the whole crowd and everything, and the whole time I'm holding it, and I get back to the hotel room. And I look at the footage, and I didn't realize that I went from the 360 angle to just the front angle. And so all you see is part of the stage and ruin the whole thing.
Oh, it's the worst.
And it wasn't equipment failure, it was operator failure.
Yeah.
And
that's happened too. I had 2 mics in an interview one time, and then afterwards I realized the second mic was never on. But luckily I at least had the one. So
yeah. So I mean, sometimes you can polish a turd and make it work. But...
yeah, it's quite the analogy.
Exactly. That wraps up the technical side of Sandy's journey, the gear, the grind, and the growing pains.
If you're building anything in independent music, you know that the struggle is real.
Hit up Sandy's YouTube page and see how she puts this all into action.
And don't forget, subscribe to the channel so you can catch part 2.